Okay, guys, am I audible? So last session we had started the OSGi concept, right? So the OSGi I can categorize into three parts. Part one is completely about introduction. There itself we had done the discussion. We was discussed about like what is the bundle, what is the jar file. So this is the introduction of it, right? So then after that, we have in the second part we'll discuss about the OSGi component and OSGi service. OSGi component and OSGi service. Why they has introduced, I would say OSGi component and what is the purpose of OSGi service. We'll try to understand today itself. This is comes under the part two. In the part three, we'll be having dynamic configurations. So this is the I would say we will discuss on the dynamic configuration in the part three. In part 2, we'll discuss about the OSGi component and OSGi service. OSGi component and OSGi service is nothing but Java classes only. Okay, nothing but Java classes only. Then why you are we are saying the Java classes only? Then why you are mentioning OSGi component and OSGi service? Because normal Java class we cannot listen any lifecycle events. Normally, what does it mean by event? Anything in the CRXT level, any node can say event, right? Event. Normal Java class we cannot listen event lifecycle. With the help of OSGi component and service, we can listen. We can listen event lifecycle, event service lifecycle. In the service lifecycle, we have the methods like activate method. We have the events like activate, deactivate, and then next thing is modified. So these three are we can say event event service life cycle. Okay, event service life cycle, or we can say service life cycle of the event. Anything is fine. This is clear. OSGi component and OSGi service is nothing but normal Java classes only. Then we are converting normal Java classes into OSGi component, OSGi service. Then what is the purpose of OSGi component and OSGi service is OSGi component and OSGi service can listen the life cycle, event life cycles. So event life cycle meaning in the event we have the life cycle like activate, deactivate, and modified. Activate, deactivate, and modified. Here we will use R7 annotations. We can say R7 annotations. What are the R7 annotations? Normally, how will you write the normal Java class? Public class and the demo. From here to here, this is the normal Java class, right? This is the normal Java class. I need to convert this normal Java class into the OSGi component. How can I convert? We need to annotate. We need to annotate with annotation at the rate component. So here we'll be having R7 annotations. Those are like at the rate component is the one annotation, and the second one at the rate activate, and at the rate deactivate. Okay, deactivate, and third one modified. Modified. Okay, third one is modified, right? Third one is modified. In the dynamic configurations also in the same R7 annotations we have like at the rate designate. Okay, at the rate designate. Next at the rate object class definition. Object class definition. Object class definition, and next one is attribute definition. At the rate attribute definition. Okay, so these we will use in the part 3. There we will how to give the dynamic configurations. We will discuss there itself. Now, as of now, we will discuss what does it mean by at the rate component, at the rate activate, at the rate deactivate, at the rate modified, right? At the rate component is the annotation which is used to convert normal Java class into the OSGi component. OSGi component. Normal Java class we are converting OSGi component. Okay. So why we are converting normal Java class into the OSGi component? This is the main purpose. Now we'll try to understand. In the last session, this is my practice code, right? Demo class am guides, and if I open my core and if I open my target, there will be having .jar files. Okay, the .jar file, what will happen internally when I'm converting, when I'm making annotate with the component, where we have the bundle lifecycle, right? So what is the bundle lifecycle? Bundle lifecycle, right? Bundle lifecycle. First one is the installed. Second one is resolved, and uh, third one is start, and fourth one is active, and fifth one is stop, and sixth one is uninstalled, right? Uninstalled. Okay. When the bundle gets active, then what will happen? Our OSGi components also gets active. So before going to active the OSGi configurations, I will show you what will happen. The basically, this is our Java file, right? I will open this Java file using my I would say decompiler. This is my decompiler, and if I open my decompiler, this is my decompiler, and I am opening my jar file target, which is where it is available. This is right. This PC, desktop, practice code, aim gets demo, core, target, and then jar file. Okay, I'm opening this one. If I open this one, my jar file, which is combination of meta nf, OSGi and demo.core, right? Demo.core. So if you observe here, OSGi, so we'll be having .xml files. Whom is creating these .xml files? By default, if you see simple resource listener, demo.xml, these names, how many files will be there? There are 5 files, right? So right now, whenever you are mentioning at the rate component, then these .xmls got created. Okay, I will show you. I will show you normally. I will take some file. I'm taking Visual Studio, right? In the Visual Studio, I have the service folder. So inside the service folder, I am creating one Java file. OSGi component is nothing but a Java file only, right? Java classes only, right? I'm taking Java class, and I am mentioning my Java class name is article. Article. Okay, guys, everyone, please concentrate. Okay, we are starting the backend topics. Please concentrate. Okay, we have to note down on the notes parallel. Okay, this is the normal Java class. Normal Java class cannot listen the service event lifecycle. How will you listen the event lifecycle? Where we have, for example, here I will take 3 methods: activate method, and this is the scope of activate method, and I will take one more method, that is deactivate method. Okay, deactivate method, and this one is scope of this one, and I will take one more method, that is void update method. Okay, and this is the scope of update method. Now if I want to track these methods is working fine or not, I need to take the logger file. So logger is the one real-time tool. With the help of logger tool, we can track, we can progress how the methods is executing. So with the help of logger tool, we will use the logger files. Okay, are you guys clear with my point? Logger is the real-time tool. With the help of logger tool, we can find out the progress of the methods, which method is executing, which method is not executing, we can progress. Got it? Now I will create one the file logger file I am creating. Okay, static, and then I would say final. Next logger. In the market there multiple parallel tools will be there. So among those parallel tools, so if you observe here, these all are the logger files only. Okay, but among those, SLR4J is only integrated with AEM. Whenever you are creating the logger file, we have to use this logger file only. We have to use this logger SLR4J only. Instead of this one, if you take anything, your logger file will not work, right? So how to use this one only. org.slf4j, and then next thing is log. I am mentioning all characters in uppercase. Why? Because this is the constant value. Constant value. Constant value naming convention should be all characters should be in the uppercase. Okay. Should I can write like this also. I can write like this, but that is not recommended way. That is not a recommended way. Okay. This is the recommended way. Whenever the constant values will be there, we have to use naming conventions. All characters should be, this is the constant value. For this class, this is the constant. So we have to mention all characters should be in the uppercase, right? Next thing is logger factory. Logger factory. If you see logger factory, everything logger factory, everything are coming from the SLF4J only. SLF4J only. Okay, SLF4J, everything we are coming from the SLF4J only. You can simply select this one. SL logger factory is the class name. In the class we might be having variables and methods, right? So in the logger factory, I'm accessing, I'm calling the get logger. Okay, get logger means get logger is the method which is available in the logger class. Are you guys clear with my point? And I am accessing meaning this is the static method. How will you access the static method? We can access the static method with the class name. Class name. So logger factory is the class name. I am accessing the static method with the class name. Okay. And here I need to mention what class methods I need to track. So simply I am mentioning the class name here, right? So I'm mentioning article dot class name. Now what this now what this file will do? It will how many methods are there? We have three methods. It will track the progress of these three methods. Okay. This is the normal methods, right? The normal methods cannot do listen the life cycle events also. Okay, we need to annotate with activate annotation, activate annotation, and then which is coming from this API, which is coming from this package OSGi service.component.annotation. We have to use that one, and here also this is coming from deactivate, which is OSGi component, right? And which is coming from we have to annotate with modified. Okay, modified. Okay, fine. Now I'm using this variable, and we have the methods, some methods. So sim info method, here I am passing some dummy message. The dummy message here I am mentioning as, here I am mentioning the dummy message are like article article activate method executed, activate method executed. Okay, so the same dummy message I am copying from here, and I will paste here. I will paste here. Here I will mention deactivate method. Okay, deactivate. The same message I will copy here and I will update here like update. Okay, this is clear as of now. These are the dummy messages: article activate and article deactivate, and so entire thing is Java class, right? So we have to annotate with component. So whenever you are annotate normal Java class with the component, then that is called OSGi component. OSGi component is nothing but normal Java class only. This is the as of now this is the normal Java class. When I am annotating with at the rate component, the normal Java class you can call OSGi component. Now this is OSGi component. Now this is OSGi component. Are you guys clear with my point? Okay, here I am mentioning immediate equal to true. What does it mean by immediate equal to true? What does it mean by immediate equal to true? Meaning, normally you will be having the bundle, right? Bundle life cycle, right? This is the bundle life cycle. So the bundle, the first will it will go to the JSR and then modular layer, and then it will here it will import. It will check the all import statements. Meaning our bundle also might be depend on some other APIs, right? It will check all the import statements. There everything is okay. There everything is okay. Then it what it will do? It will go to the resolve state, and then it will come to active state. Okay, all bundles should be in the active state. When the bundle gets activated, so what will immediately will happen? So OSGI component also should activate. So how will you tell? We can tell with the help of this attribute immediate equal to true, mean we are telling to the we are telling whenever the bundle gets in active state, immediately OSGi component should be also active. Okay, active. Okay, fine. Now what will happen generally if you observe here, there is no we have the only uh, .xml files only. Now what I am doing, I will deploy this one. I'm saying I'm open terminal, I'm opening my terminal, and then this is I went clean install auto install. I'll try with bundle. Okay, we'll deploy the full package. Now what is it is doing? It compiling. Now if you observe here, so which is deploying, I'm showing what is happening internally. When I'm giving the command, what it is doing, it is compiling all the Java files, and it is build like as a .jar file. Okay, .jar file. So at the compilation time only, based on the way which class we have annotated with the OSGi component, so based on that annotation, it will created .xml files. It will created .xml files. Are you guys clear with my point? Which class we are mentioning at the rate OSGi at the rate component, based on this annotation, in the jar files, it will be created .xml files. So that I will show you practically. Then we'll get the clarity. Hmm? లాగర్ అనే టూల్ ఇన్స్టాల్ కదా, ఆల్రెడీ ఏం ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ అయి ఉంది. మన ఏం జార్లో ఆల్రెడీ ఇంటిగ్రేట్ అయింది, దాన్ని మనం యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం. యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం. నువ్వు ట్రాక్ చేస్తావు కదా ఇప్పుడు, ఒక క్లాస్లో ఒక 20 మెథడ్లు ఉన్నాయి. ఏ మెథడ్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది, ఏ మెథడ్ వర్క్ అవ్వట్లేదని నీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? ఒక లాగర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఆ లాగర్ని డమ్మీ మెసేజ్ ఆ డమ్మీ మెసేజ్ అన్ని మెథడ్లు వేస్తావు. అప్పుడు నీకు ఆ మెథడ్ వర్క్ అవుతుందా లేదని ఎర్ర డాట్ లాగ్ ఫైల్స్లో నీకు చూపిస్తుంది. ఆ లాగ్ ఫైల్స్లో కనిపిస్తుంది. అది నేను చూపిస్తాను ఇప్పుడు. Okay, I guess it might be already created. So I will open my desktop and then practice code inside core src, oh, not src, which is available in target. You can select dodger and then here it will be created with mm, article.xml build success, and then this is the OSGi component, and then okay, OSGi component, and simply can come here. You can aim.jar service demo.article. We have to demo.xml here. Demo.xml got created, but article.xml not created. Why? Because somewhere the mistakes. So this one has to create it. This one has to create it. So I will delete this jar file. Mm, practice code, aim guides, and core, and then target. I'm deleting the entire target. Okay, I'm deleting the entire target. Okay, then I'm coming here, and then I will do the deployment from here also. Aim guides, and then here I will open command prompt cmd, and then maven, I would say clean install -p auto install single package. Okay, build our ఏమైంది ఇది క్లాస్ నేమ్ లాగర్ అనే క్లాస్, లాగర్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అనేది క్లాస్, ప్రైవేట్ అనేది యాక్సెస్, స్టాటిక్ అనేది స్టాటిక్ వాడు, ప్రైవేట్ అనేది యాక్సెస్ స్పెసిఫైర్, ఫైనల్ అనేది నువ్వు ఈ స్టాటిక్ వేరియబుల్స్ నువ్వు ఫైనల్ ఎవరు మార్చకూడదు అంటే నువ్వు ఫైనల్ పెడతావు. అది కాన్స్టెంట్ వాల్యూ కాబట్టి లాగ్ అన్ని క్యాప్స్, ఆల్ క్యాపిటల్స్ అప్పర్ కేసు. ఇది వేరియబుల్ లాగ్ అనేది ఇది క్లాస్ నేమ్, దీని యొక్క డేటా టైప్ క్లాస్ నేమ్. దీన్ని ఈ లాగర్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ అనేది ఒక క్లాస్, దాన్ని కాల్ చేసి దాన్ని ఒక దాంట్లో స్టోర్ చేసి దాని ఒక డేటా టైప్ లాగర్. ఇవన్నీ మామూలు యాక్సెస్ స్పెసిఫైర్, ఇవన్నీ మామూలు బేసిక్. Okay. Now simply I will go to my project code target, and this is my .jar file, right? Where we can open with I will open my decompiler, which is available in dev tools, and then decompiler, and then you can open with the decompiler. If I click on the decompiler, we have to select the jar path, desktop, practice code, then aim guides demo, and then we have the core, target, and dot jar. So if I click on it, OSGi configurations, if you see article.xml got created. Okay. So how it got created, basically at the compilation time, it will look for the any class which is having at the rate component. Which class is having at the rate component. So based on that, it will create .xml files. Okay, .xml files. Based on the .xml files, so what will happen basically here it is. What will happen here it is. Identify the identify the OSGi components. OSGi components. OSGi components based on the .xml files. Who will identify? OSGi is the framework, right? So in the AIM architecture, it is a combination of three frameworks. Okay, in the OSGi also framework, it will identify OSGi components based on the XML configurations. Based on the XML configurations. Are you guys clear with my point? And then next point is, this is clear first one. So next point is, it will create it will create objects for all OSGi components. All OSGi components, these are virtual objects. Okay, these are virtual objects. So who will create OSGi framework? It will create objects for all OSGi components. Are you guys clear with my point? When the bundle gets activated, where we will mention the immediate equal to true attribute, based on that OSGi components gets activated, then what will happen? The internally process is, the first process is, it will identify the OSGi component based on the XML configurations. Okay, next. So it will identify the OSGi components. For every OSGi component, it will create the object. For every component, we will create the object. Normally in Java classes, we will create for one class multiple objects, right? But in case of OSGi components, for every Java class, we can create only one object only. We can create only one object. But in the core Java itself, for one class, you can create multiple objects, right? But in case of OSGi component, for every class, you can create only object. So that classes is called singleton classes. Yes. Singleton classes. Singleton classes meaning we can create only one object. Okay. Okay. Here the third point is, it will register all OSGi components, all OSGi components with all OSGi components with OSGi container. OSGi container. What the container it will do? Container triggers. Container, I would say, container trigger event activate. Container triggers the activate events. Triggers the activate events. Activate events and execute the event life cycles. Event life cycles. Event life cycles like activate, comma deactivate, comma modified in OSGi components. In OSGi components. So this is the process which is happens internally. This is the process which is happens internally. Are you guys clear with my point? This is the this is the first step. This is the third step. Are you guys clear with my point? Whenever you mention the at the rate component, what will happen immediately? At the compilation time, our Maven tool will create the .xml file. So based on the .xml file, we'll be having the OSGi framework, right? OSGi framework identify the OSGi components based on the XML configurations, based on the XML configuration, and then it will create object for all OSGi components. So every will be having might be like 10 OSGi components, right? It will be created 10 objects. Okay, and after this, it will register all OSGi components with OSGi container, and the container triggers the activate events and execute the event life cycles like activate, deactivate, and modified in the OSGi component, and modified in the OSGi component, modified in the OSGi component, right? Modified in the OSGi component. So this is the flow will happens the internally in case of whenever we are mentioned with an at the rate component annotate. So we have to mention at the rate OSGi component, at the rate component. Then only it will treated as OSGi component. Okay. Okay, fine. As of now, is clear. Now what I am doing, I am taking one more file. The file name is, I would say, I will take one more file. The file name is, I'm taking the file name is the writer.java. Okay, this is also normal Java class, right? This normal Java class also I am taking the same methods here. Whatever the methods here available, I am taking the same methods. I am taking the same methods from there to here. I am pasting in the writer.class also. I am pasting here, and then now instead of writer, I am mentioning with writer. Article I am mentioning with writer. Okay, writer. Now here I am mentioning with writer activate method executed writer, and here also I will mention with writer, and here also I will mention with, here also I will mention with writer. Okay, here I will take one more method. The method name is string, and the method name you can take anything. In my case I am taking the method name is as the REST API. You can take anything like I am taking the another method that is the printed data. Okay, printed data, and then this is the scope of. Now you guys tell me, this method is throwing the error. Why it is throwing the error? How can I overcome that error? We didn't hear the command of that. At the rate command. At the rate command. Next, any answers? So my I am mentioning string, and my method name is the printed data. So I am declaring the method, but it is throwing the error. What should I do? How can I overcome that method? You have to mention return statement. When the method has the return type, we have to mention that method has to return the same statement. I have to write the return statement. And here I am passing some dummy message, that is data coming from the printed data method, printed data method. Some message I have written. This is clear. This is the normal methods. In the methods concept we discussed in the Java. In the methods we have four combinations, right? Four combinations with the parameter, with the parameter, with the return type, with the parameter, with the return type, without, without, without. Total four combinations. Okay. Uh, this is with the return type. Okay, with the return type without parameter. Okay, fine. Now, this is the OSGi component, right? I am converting this OSGi component immediate equal to true. Immediate equal to true. Now we have in this service package, we have the two, I would say, uh, two components, two OSGi components. One is the article OSGi component, second one is the writer OSGi component. Okay. Now my requirement is I need to call one OSGi component into another OSGi component. So for calling that purpose, we have to convert OSGi component into the service. Okay? Are you guys clear with my point? OSGi service is nothing but extension of OSGi component only. So till now we have created OSGi component, right? So we have to convert this one into the OSGi service. How will you convert? Simply you can put the comma and then you can mention service and then you can mention your class name. Then whenever you mention the service attribute, then it will be acted like as the service, OSGi service. Are you guys clear with my point? Now this is the service. Are you guys clear with my point? This is clear or not? OSGi OSGi service is nothing but extension of OSGi component only. We can convert OSGi component into the OSGi service, but we cannot convert OSGi service into the OSGi component. Only forward direction. We can convert OSGi component into the service. We cannot convert service into the component. Okay, only forward direction. This is clear. Now this is the OSGi service. This is I can call this is the OSGi service. If I delete this one, this is the OSGi component. Only the difference is we have to add attribute. Whenever you have attribute, then you can say that is the service. Now this is the service, right? My requirement is this is one service, writer service. I need to call the service in my OSGi component. Normally in Java classes, how will you do? In Java, normal Java class, for example, you have the two classes, public class and we have the demo, right? The demo is the one class and from here to here, this is the scope of class, right? And we have one more class that is the uh, writer. I will take the writer, right? So if I want to use this class into this class, how can I use? Extends is the one way and second way object creation. Object for the writer. So how will you create the object? We can use the new operator writer and then we have to store this variable in some reference variable and this data type is the writer. This is clear. Similarly, in this case also, this is the service, right? I need to call this service into my OSGi component. OSGi component, right? So normally we will create here like how to this is the main method. I would say new writer equal to should I write like this W and this data type is the writer. Okay, writer. So should I write like this? This is the voice in case of voice service and component where we have the one annotation that is what I am saying OSGi component and services we cannot create any objects. OSGi framework will create one object, so that is implicitly object. So I said here now this point where my notepad in the notepad if you see here identify the OSGi component based on the .xml files and it will create the object for all OSGi components. It will already created OSGi component. So OSGi component here remember one point OSGi components and OSGi services are the singleton OSGi components and OSGi components and OSGi services are singleton singleton classes meaning you can create only one object. OSGi framework already it has created the object, right? Then if you create like this it is invalid. Okay, now we can use at the rate reference we can use the at the rate reference At the rate reference is the annotation which is used to call one service into the current class, current OSGi component. Okay. Now, I would say at the rate reference can mention with the reference. Okay, reference, and then writer, and then this is the object. Who has created this object? OSGi framework has created. Now these three methods, and among I will take one more print data, and I need to call those methods inside the activate method. So right now writer dot print data, writer dot where somewhere will be having the printed data. So, printed data. Okay, printed data method, right? Then we have to store this printed data uh, method in any reference variable. I am mentioning my reference variable name is result. You can give any name. This name data type is string. I am storing the string values, so that's why I am mentioning is the string. Okay. Now I need to print whatever it is storing. I need to print the data, so that's why I'm mentioning log info, log info, and you can print in two ways. Basically, you can print in two ways. The first I will show you two types. First type is the we have mentioned result. Okay, result result is, and here you can mention plus, and then you can mention result. Okay, this is the one approach. This is the one approach to print the data which is holding the variable. We have the second approach, that is log info result. You can mention with the result is result result is, you need to mention placeholder, and then comma we have mentioned result. Are you guys clear with the point? You can print the data two ways. This is the normal core Java approach. Uh, Okay, this is the one approach. This is the one approach, right? But among those two approaches, this is the only approach we recommended. Okay, we can print in two ways, but this is the only nobody in any project if you take, this is the only recommended approach. This is the only recommended approach. This is we will not use. Are you guys clear with my point? You can write, you can print in two ways, but among those two, this is the recommended. This is the recommended. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Now I will deploy on my server, and in the error.log files I will check my this method is all the methods data is coming or not. I will cross check in my log files. Okay, simply I will open my terminal and then I will deploy. Some file the compilation is failure where main Adobe article.java. We have the article.java, right? This is the article.java. In the article.java, at the rate reference method print data, writer This is the writer, right? Writer dot writer dot printed data. Okay. This printed data I'm storing in result variable. Result variable, and then this result variable data type is the string. Okay. Now where the file is coming, article.java, same. Line number 20. Immediate equal to true, and then this one will try to call writer. Okay, and then writer function, right? Method, I guess, where is this outcome? Activate writer activate, and then immediate writer class immediate equal to, and then article. In the article, at the rate reference, and writer. This is the object which is holding multiple methods. Among those methods, we are calling printed data method. This printed data method we are storing in the result, and this result we are calling. Okay. What the error it is showing? Normal will deploy with normal approach. Press demo, and then you can open with command cmd, and then have and install -p auto install single package. This is normal approach. Services the same. Mm, Class name is error which is coming from writer.java. We have the printed data. Okay, I will change any other name. So instead of taking the print method, I will change the name, other name with any other name, like I would say REST API. Okay, I'm changing the method name now. Hmm? No, that is custom method. No need to mention anything. So I'm calling as of now, instead of printed data method, I'm calling with REST API. Okay, okay, I'm saving this one, and then I'm going to activate, activate, void activate. Okay, now we'll try to see format the which is coming. Article.java. No. I will change the release writer release, and here also I will mention writer release. Okay. Here also I will mention writer release. Okay. Enable to equal to true, and then simply I am coming to here. Here I am mentioning writer writer release, which is coming from, and then release. This background step A, and then here I am mentioning. Okay. Now I will go here. Writer type of. Okay. Now you will see comparison.
అన్నీ అట్లా సేవ్ చేయలేదు ఎలా
రైటర్ రిలీజ్ డాట్
ఇక్కడ కూడా ఆర్టికల్ రావచ్చా సేవ్
చేసినాక రన్ చేయాలి.
Yeah.
ఇట్లా నొక్కితే ఇది రావట్లేదు యూజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు అన్నట్టు ఇది రావట్లేదు
Project accepted for if the build is success, after that you can open error.log files. There you can check uh, the methods. We passed every method some dummy message, right? Like these all the dummy messages is printing there or not there. You can cross check. Okay, you can open AEM quick start. We have the logs. You can open error.log files. So I will open error.log files with can open with Visual Studio. Okay, this is error.log files. In this error.log files, you can search with the dummy message, whatever the dummy message we have passed here. Uh, article dot. So I have passed this dummy message, right? This one, you can copy this one, and you can come to error.log files and you can paste here. So this data is coming in the error.log files. Okay, similarly, writer release where we have written one method, right? So this data also copy from here and you can go error.log files where you can uh, control V. So the data is coming. The result. The data is coming. Print data. Are you guys clear with your point? So all the methods data is coming. So this is your assignment as of now. Today your assignment is writer not deactivate, writer activate, writer activate. Okay, can copy writer activate executed. Can copy this one. And then can go with error.log files. Okay, like this we have to display total. You can take two files. One is the any two files names with anything. One you can make it as the OSGi component, one you can make it as OSGi service, and you can call that service into the OSGi component and deploy into the instance. And then I would say uh, in the error.log files, you have to display the dummy message. Okay. So this is your assignment as of now. So please go through it, do the assignment, and whoever is submitting this assignment, those guys also only will allow to the next class. Why? Because these are all the interlinked. Okay, these all are the interlinked. Okay, so that's it today.
Ask all questions. 4 minutes is left.
I will stop the live.